welcome back to my kitchen. And what am I going to do today? Great surprise. I am going to make sausages. No, not the regular sausages. You know me, I like doing things my way. I know how to make sausages, but it's just too much trouble to get all that casting and and this and that. It's just too much. So I'm going to show you how to make my famous fake sausages. They're absolutely perfect for breakfast, for lunch. Just try it, and it's really, really fast. And what are we going to do? We're going to use ground pork. And you see all those little spots of fat? That is where the taste is. And if you're worried about the calories, check my link below here on how to lose weight and eat something a little fatty, trust me. And we're going to infuse it with all these goodies here, and of course, my secret from my hamburger recipe, which you can check right about here. So let's not waste time. Let's get going with my famous fake sausages. Okay, here we go. Grab yourself a large bowl. Make sure that your hands are washed, and I will tell you why in a few minutes. I want you to grab about half a kilo or about 1.5 pounds of ground pork. And I want you to place that in there. And 1 small onion. I want you to try to dice it as small as possible. If you have some bigger pieces in there, don't worry. And here, this is up to you. I'm adding 4 cloves of garlic, which has been minced. You can add more or you can add less, depending on how garlicky you want it. We do that. And 1 egg slightly beaten. Now, if you don't want to use the yellow, you could just use the white. I'm just using it to keep this all stuck together. But you know something? I don't want to put the yolk in the refrigerator and then don't use it. And my secret, instant oatmeal. I want you to put in about 2 heaping tablespoons of instant oatmeal. Now, the oatmeal, you're not going to taste it. What the oatmeal does is it absorbs the juices, blends in with the meat, and gives you a nice, round, juicy taste. That is the purpose of this, to make it more moist, more tasty, and keep it all together. So again, you will not taste it, so don't worry, this is not your breakfast cereal. And about half a teaspoon of thyme. Now you can add more or you can add less. Now I love rosemary, so I'm putting half a teaspoon of rosemary. You don't have to, but I love rosemary. And paprika, I'm putting in about a teaspoon of paprika. Now at this point you can also add, if you want it sweet, you can add some honey to it, or you can add some chili. Whatever you want, it's yours, you can add in here. Now, of course, about half a teaspoon of fresh ground pepper. There you go. And about a teaspoon to a teaspoon and a half of soya. Soya just gives it that little oomph that you need. Now at this stage you can also add HP or Worcestershire sauce, whatever you want to add in here. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to take this and mix it all together. And now I'm going to add about half a teaspoon of salt. You can add more or you can add less. And I mix it again. Now the reason I mix it twice is because it is very important that everything mixes well. So now I cover this, put this into the refrigerator for 1 hour. You don't have to, but I do. Just give it time for all the flavors to intermingle. So I shall be back. Okay, we're back. Here it is, 1 hour in the refrigerator. 2-3 hours would be better. But I'm getting hungry. Grab yourself a large plate like that, and I just want you to sprinkle some flour on it like that. Don't worry about how much you put. We're not making a pie, but we don't want anything to stick to the bottom. There you go. Just like that. Okay. And now, I want you to grab a small little bowl, and I want you to pour a little bit of cooking oil in there. Really, any kind of cooking oil that you want, and I'll show you in a second what that's. I want you to grab some breadcrumbs, and I want you to add the breadcrumbs a little bit at a time. And the reason for the breadcrumbs is because it will make it a little bit more moist, and it will make it a little bit more easy for us to handle the meat when we go to mold it. So, how much you add basically depends on the moisture content of the pork and your ingredients, as you put more or you put less. Now you can see it's still a little wet there, so I'm going to add a little bit more. And don't worry, this gives it an awesome, awesome taste. And we're just going to keep on stirring until we see that it starts to stick together. Now you can see that it basically does not really stick that much anymore. Now it's controllable. And now grab a handy dandy spoon and we take this off. And here we go. Now we're going to use the spoon for a measurement. Now you can use more, you can use less. So that I would call basically one measurement. Depends on you. Now take a little bit of oil and just put it on your hands like that so it doesn't stick. Just don't worry, we have something called soap and water. It's a new invention. And just to show you a little technique, you get your measurement, of course, about like that. And what I want you to do is kind of squeeze it into a ball like that, into a ball. And now with my hands, I actually keep on rotating it and squeezing it like that with my 4 fingers, and it actually starts turning into a sausage. If you find it starts sticking to your hands, put in a little bit more oil. And look, a sausage. Here we go. And I shall be back. Well, welcome back. Here is my pot. I'm sorry it's a little bit dirty, but I did fry a few just before. So how do we know how the temperature is right? Grab yourself a toothpick and you insert it and you can see the bubbles. Now I don't know if you can see the bubbles on the camera, but once you see the bubbles, you know the temperature is correct. So now the sausages at this stage are very, very soft and very easy to break. So I want you to grab a spatula or a spoon, and I want you to gently, gently drop them into the oil like that and let them roll off. There you go. And what I don't want you to do is I don't want you to put too many in the pot, because the secret is not to put too many. If you put too many in, what's going to happen is it's going to stick together, and there we go. There they are. Now this is going to go for about 6 to 7 minutes, maybe 8 depending on your settings. And I'm going to show you how to check it though when it's done. Now you don't have to use a pot like this with all this oil. You can use a fry pan and put in about a 1/4 inch of oil, and you can do that. But you know that's too much trouble. I like to do it like this. Also, if you want, you can bake it. If you look on my cooking blog, I'm going to have instructions for you on how to bake them instead. So, they're going nicely. Now, also at this stage, I don't want you to stir them or move them because they're very delicate. If you try to stir them at this stage, they're going to break. Just give it halfway through the cooking time, and then you can just gently move it around so you get a more even cooking. So, I shall back. And now that it's a little bit harder, and you can see that the crust is a little bit harder and it's not going to fall apart now. So what I would do is just give it a very, very gentle move just to get it more evenly without stabbing or pushing it too hard. About halfway through the cooking process. And I shall be back. Okay, we're back here. Grab yourself a plate, put on a nice absorbent paper towel, and the way I would like you to see it is like this, golden brown like that. And you just add that to the paper like that. Now you can cook a little bit longer if you want, but then what happens, it becomes too crunchy and then the inside becomes overcooked. So it's really up to you. With a little bit of practice, you'll get what you want. And there we have our sausages. Perfect for breakfast, perfect for lunch, perfect for anything. And all I want to say now is, again, thank you very much for coming to my cooking channel. Thank you very much for allowing me to show you this recipe. I hope you enjoy it. I know you will enjoy it. And here are my fake sausages without all the trouble. So I'll see you again on my next cooking channel. Bye now from Tony Hen Cooking Around. Bye now.